So once again, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the interesting part is the On the Block edition. This is powered by Steam Ambassadors. We are so excited today. As you can see, we're literally on the block. We're on location here with Nia B. Cooking, right? Nia Spencer. Nia Spencer, chef extraordinaire, has an incredible story. We're going to share that. But before we get started, Nia, I'm sorry. I've been sitting here. Can we plate some of this and talk while we kind of eat? So you going how do I do this? Because I don't have all that fancy.
So what we have here is waffle, buttermilk waffles with fried chicken and mango slaw with apples. So you can grab that.
Okay, buttermilk chicken.
No, buttermilk waffles.
Buttermilk waffles.
Mm-hmm. Fried chicken.
Fried chicken.
With mango and apple slaw.
Mango and apple slaw. I'm gonna get some on your plate as
Thank
well.
you.
Okay? Right? Don't be mad. Don't be mad. We're gonna go on and get out while we talk a little bit, okay? So Nia, once again, thank you so much. This is the On the Block edition. We are literally on location. We truly appreciate you. Nia Spencer, a young, inspiring cook. She's passionate about what she's doing, right? Started out at an early age. And one of the things I was most excited about was how you fuse your cultures in your cooking. Can you talk to our audience about the cultures and where you cook from and where that comes from?
So I am in love with Asian flavors. So I'm always trying to combine soul food, what we grew up with Asian flavors. So I try to excite our palate, because it's sweet, sour, salty, and crunchy. So I want all of that in food. I want it to change the way you eat food. It's not always about the soul food. It's about what you put on a plate. That's going to surprise people.
It's going to surprise my taste buds.
Yeah, drop a bomb.
Well, you dropped it today. I'm going to take me a bite here and talk a little bit, right? Because where did this start, right? Where most young adults want to play sports. They want to play sports. They want to dance. They want to, get into music.
Right.
You chose to cook.
Yeah.
Right. Where did that come from?
That come from being in high school. I was in the After School Matters program. I was doing track, so I'm kind of cooking and doing track at the same time. When it got to my junior year, my parents set me down. We had a conversation. We have to talk about which one you're gonna commit to.
Okay.
So I realized I'm in love with cooking. I love the flavors. I love the technique. So I went along with cooking, and then that cooking got me a full-ride scholarship to school in New York.
In New York, and so absolutely, we're gonna back up here. I know you attended Ogden International.
Yes, I did.
Ogden International High School,
Yes.
and at what age? And so we'll talk a little bit. At what age? I know that you have disability.
Yeah.
Can you explain to our audience what that is?
So I have a hard of hearing. So I'm hard of hearing. So I wear 2 hearing aids to help me hear in the world. So what that is, that I can't hear as much as a normal person hears.
Okay.
So I would need support to help me hear. So sometimes I would use sign language to communicate with my peers. So that's how I communicate.
Okay. So not only did you choose to cook and challenge yourself that way, but you already had a challenge, right?
Exactly.
You attended Ogden International, which was a A1 school, A1 high school, and you would go to the traditional class, and then you would spend some time in the hard of hearing classes. How was that with your peers? I know you got to watch. I know, because I'm gonna do the same thing. Take your time, y'all should be here. This is fire. Non-traditional versus traditional versus the hard of hearing components. How were you able to adapt?
So basically, it was two different environments, because for the hard of hearing classes, it was more focused on teachers trying to help us what we miss in class. So basically, in a regular classroom, you got teachers teaching.
Okay.
They don't take the time to stop and actually go over the information that's needed for us to understand, because sometimes it'll take us a minute to understand than other students. So the hard of hearing classes is basically the backup classes that help you go through the lessons that was learned throughout the day.
Okay. And so you were able to adapt there. Really proud of you. Kind of watch your maturation. You began to cook and enter into different contests while you were a CPS student.
Yes.
I actually did some homework. You were on a website where they told your entire story. You entered a cooking contest. Talk about that.
So a cooking contest, it took place for scholarship to college.
Okay.
So it was two different programs because my school is in a culinary focused school. So I had to go through after school matters to go through that cooking competition. So that competition took place. It was surprising because I was the only one that had a disability in there, actually proving myself that I can make this happen. And basically it just took off from there, and I just blew up.
I've seen you stand with some of the top chefs where you cooked on their lines. You were then able to travel. I know you went on to get your associates, Radio City Music Hall, big ups.
Yeah, definitely.
But then
be there Wednesday.
You were supposed to be there this past Wednesday?
Yes, graduating my bachelor's.
With your bachelor's degree. So everything that happened kind of slowed the process down.
Definitely.
And we'll talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
So you finished high school.
Yes.
You were awarded one of the top young chefs in the state of Illinois for that part. One in the state in the country. You went on to what college after that?
Monroe College in New York. So it's a culinary institute of New York school.
And you cooked. I know that they named the pizza after you.
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
What's the name of the pizza?
The Nia Spencer Charter Pizza. So basically, it's named after Charlie Charter.
Yeah, Charlie Charter.
So I was with him for the organization. So we came up with a collaboration of making pizza. So I went in there and made a pizza. We named it after Charter with my name.
Now do this. You can't just. What was in the ingredients of the pizza?
So we got some short rib beef. We got some mushrooms, bell pepper. We got some Korean barbecue sauce. We got some mozzarella cheese. We got some spinach. It was spicy, sweet, salty. It was all in one. Perfect.
And everybody got out. And so they named it after you.
Yeah.
I want to go back just a little bit, right? Because so often we work with students that allow their disabilities to kind of overtake them, or they use them as an excuse.
It's an excuse, right?
What would you say to maybe a student or maybe even adult that has a disability, right, around their dreams and their aspirations?
I would say you should not let that stop you. You should let that push you towards something that you want to do in your life. It's your life. It's nobody else's life but yours. So if you want to do something, you got to commit to it. And for somebody like me, you have to be, I want you to be confident in yourself, trust yourself that you can do it. Because if I couldn't do it, I wouldn't even be here. So you have to push yourself, motivate yourself to keep going. So I wanted to motivate people like us to keep going. And they have a chance to make it, just like everybody else. Just because they have a disability doesn't mean they're not going to make it. They is going to make it if they are confident enough to make it.
That's what's up. Yeah. Confidence. And you know what? That brings me to, let me take a look here. That brings me, I was combing your social media just to gain some information. And one of the things that stuck out was some of your quotes. Yes. And so I'm going to read one of your quotes.
Okay.
It says, do whatever it takes to reach your full potential. Pretend that your life depends on it. Show people what you are made of. And believe me, you'll become somebody because you'll be giving people something to look at others other than their disability.
Yes.
Right? And I think you just hit on that, right? Dig in, focus, believe in yourself, right? It's so interesting. It don't matter, young, old. I think believing in who you are and what you're capable of is one of the prime things that gets you through. Excellent. Let me take me a bite because
okay. Forgot about this food.
I know I ain't forget about it. The interesting part is the On the Block edition when we talk to the most interesting people about the most interesting things. As you can see here, we're sitting here today with Miss Nia Spencer, chef extraordinaire. We are on site. She has put together a dynamite chicken and waffle infused with
Ginger, garlic. It's basically Asian flavored chili pepper, fish sauce, soy sauce, sugar, salt, pepper. Bam.
Y'all don't even understand. Y'all don't even understand. So, Nia, you move on, you cook, you're in these kitchens, and they're fast paced.
Yes. How do you adapt? So, I have a personal conversation with the chef, top chef. So we have a conversation about what worked for me. So me personally, I would tell him like, if you want me to do something, you have to look at me in my face. That way I can read your lip. That's how I communicate. I read your lip. Okay. Know what you're saying. Because if you're just doing multiple things at once, I won't be able to get it. So sometimes we have a little keyword or something just in case something happens. So yeah. And we make it work in the kitchen. I'm very fast. I'm very on point. So yeah.
One of the things that I noticed, and I've had an opportunity to eat, you plate and you present.
Yes.
Extremely professional. Where does that come from?
That come from me personally. You eat with your eyes first before you mouth. That always been a quote with me for years. People eat with their eyes first before they eat their mouth. So you got to kind of satisfy the feeling of their mouth first before they eat it. So that was a go.
That is so real. I do. I eat with my eyes first.
Definitely.
Right? I do. That's good. That's good. So have you had the opportunity, right?
Yeah.
You've kind of, not necessarily fast track, you put in your time.
Definitely.
Do you get an opportunity to work with younger students?
Culinary. Yes, I have. Well, matter of fact, we're about to do a private dinner next week. So I'm collaborating with another student I went to school with. So we're doing a private dinner to kind of like share our culinary creations. Basically share the world and we cook.
With younger culinary aspiring chefs.
Yes.
Okay. So you're doing some big things. It's exciting to know during this time that, you know, you just kind of jumped in the kitchen.
Definitely.
And started cooking, right?
Yeah. Like that.
And what did that do for you?
I feel like it motivates me. Like it's a go get it type thing. Like it's a feeling. Like it's like, all right, I got it. It's gonna come out right at the end. Like it's fulfilling for me. It's happy. It's making me happy. It's peaceful. Like I feel like I'm in my creative space when I'm in the kitchen. I get to do whatever I want to do. I get to add whatever I want to do. It's never no rules. So I always break the boundaries when it comes to cooking. There is no rules when it comes to freestyle. You gotta make it how you want it is, and people will love it.
That's interesting because you can almost equate that to sports, to dancing. Once you get the basics, you like you said, you just freestyle.
Right there, yeah.
And one would never equate that with cooking, right? You think you got to be measured.
Yeah, it's never like that. Yeah.
It's not like that, huh?
You got to know the basic technique. Like for example, you got to have certain knife cuts, consistent knife cuts. You got to flavor profile got to be on point. Seasoning got to be on point. Cooking the chicken have to be on point. Like that's basic. But adding flavor and mix of culture, that's a whole nother league. Like you gotta be creative, and that's what I love to do. I love to think outside the box. So I came up with this whole
and you did, ladies and gentlemen. She did. I don't want to overstate it, but I also don't want to play like I'm not sitting here in front of pleasure, a mountain of pleasure. But she really did infuse that thought process into this meal. Radio City Music Hall, we talked a little bit earlier. I know you got your 2-year last year. Rough time. How did that feel not being able to finish up and walk across that stage with your bachelor's degree?
I ain't gonna lie. I was heartbroken because I wanted to celebrate, my accomplishment, how I came so far.
Yes.
But that doesn't stop me, not now, not ever. So it's just a little thing that we gotta adjust to. So to me, I feel like plan A don't work. Now we gotta go to plan B.
That's right.
So that's how I took it as on. So I'm still proud of myself. I'm still doing my thing.
I know you are. I know you are. So moving forward, did your plans change any in terms of how you're gonna move forward?
Not really, but it did because I had opportunities to cook in one of the top kitchens in Chicago, downtown. So that kind of came because we supposed to be social distancing. So we couldn't really have a lot of people in the kitchen. So I was going to have this paid mentorship to basically focus on specific culture. I have the opportunity to do that, but I'm sure it's going to come back around. So, yeah.
You keep cooking, you keep creating.
Definitely.
I know that you're doing a lot of appearances, sharing your story. It's an incredible, incredible journey. And I just want to make sure I do you justice in sitting down, talking with you, sharing. So I want to thank you again. The interesting part is when we talk to the most interesting people about the most interesting thing, we're here today with Miss Nia Spencer. Nia, before we go any further, where can they follow you on social media?
You can follow me on my Instagram, Chef Nia Spencer, and that's about it. And Twitter, Nia Be Cooking.
Nia Be Cooking. That's the one I saw on Twitter. Nia Be Cooking. Follow her, guys. Watch those pictures. What she talked about earlier is that you eat with your eyes. You'll be full going through her pictures on Instagram. Your belly, you'll feel like you ate already, right?
That's a goal.
So Nia, we often play this this game with our guests, kind of get them involved, get into their psyche a little bit. Okay. Today we're going to play a version of this or that. Okay?
All right, cool.
And just, I'm going to give you this or that. You tell me, and then some of them will get into the whys. Okay? As a chef, chicken, fish, or beef?
Fish.
Fish. Why?
Because you can marinate the fish with anything and come out beautiful, moist, tasty. It just hit all the spots. Like,
what's your fish of choice when you begin to cook? Is there one?
No, I love all types of fish. I'll get a whole fish, deep fry it, marinated, deep fry it. That's a whole another ball game.
That's right. We're gonna do a series. Okay, here's a good one. Food or music?
Food.
Food. What role does music play when you're cooking? Does it?
It does. It has that peace of mind kind of thing. It makes you get in your zone. Like,
yeah.
It's like go time. All right, let's go. Right. So, yeah. So it makes you feel confident as a person. Like, you don't know who you really are like cooking until you hear something that's motivating you to keep doing your thing.
You know what? Let me stop. You got a certain amount of swag about yourself. You're going to be extremely successful. Do you understand? Do not lose that, right? Because you work so hard with students in the field that I am to just get them to the point where maybe there's not a product, maybe there's not something physical, but if you can get them just to believe,
yes, definitely.
then you can just start creating because hey, I ain't failure,
right.
And that it's like we sitting here, and you just like, man,
let's go,
right? Cakes or pies? Cakes. Not a whole lot of pies.
Nope.
Okay. What's your favorite cake to bake?
I don't have a favorite.
Okay.
That's crazy. I like everything.
You like it? I know. Here's one. Being smart or being motivated? Which one did you think? Being motivated. Talk to our audience, right? And I'm not saying that intelligence doesn't play a role, but when you say being motivated, what do you mean by that?
Being motivated is being able to lead, being able to push yourself, being able to reach for something that you want, even though you got problems coming at you, still going. Being motivated is like being determined to get what you want. You can't let nothing stop you. It's like a tunnel vision. You have to make sure you're focused. Being motivated is like it's plan A. No, for example, let's go back. So if you're in a plane, you got a choice to go to destination A, destination B. You got to pick which one gonna help you at the end. Which one you got to sacrifice for. Which one gonna help you grow. That's what's most important. So motivating, you gotta keep pushing. That way people gonna see what you're made of because they know you work so hard to get to the point where you want to be in your life.
And they gonna ride with you.
Yeah, they gonna ride with you.
That's right. Taking risks, not worrying about failing.
Right.
Continuing to hone your craft and getting better.
Yeah.
And then that's what makes people notice you. I can attest to that. I can. And then finally, Sam Davis, aka Savor by Sam, or Eris Johnson, two professional African-American female chefs who are doing their thing nationally. Is there one, who motivates you? Do you have any chefs that you look up to?
Right now, yeah, a little bit, yeah. I look up to Chef Bobby Flay and look up to Eris Johnson. She the real deal.
Is she?
She the real deal. I feel like I can connect to her whole thought process, her whole full fusion. I can just relate to her. I look at her like my big sister, like somebody that I can collaborate with. We just take it by the storm. Just go crazy.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it. Once again, guys, I'm borderline, I'm full, but as you can see, we are sitting here with Nia Spencer. The Interesting Party is where we talk to the most interesting people about the most interesting things. This is powered by Steambassadors. We are on location today. Nia, I know that you come from a close-knit family. Older brother, younger brother, mom. What has that done for you, along with your disability, along with, kind of taking a different path? How has that inspired you? And, I hear some of your other motivations. How has family inspired you and kept you going?
My mom is very independent. Her drive, I feel like who she is as a person is who I am right now. Because I wouldn't be who I am without her. My dad is so hardworking. He is so focused, so straight to the point. Like, if you do this, everything gonna come in play. You gotta keep focused. You gotta keep going. My brother Zion, he is a warrior. Like, he don't let anything stop him. So it's like, okay, if he can do it, I can do it too. Yeah.
That's what's up. I'm really impressed. I found myself being really impressed by that dynamic because it lends to your love for what you're doing. Now, so often when I have guests on, you don't have to look real far to see where the love, for where the love and the drive comes from. And so as we finish up here, I think that you've inspired my audience. I think that you talked to us about your mix. As you cook, right? The education, some of the general education courses and some of the more basic courses, does math and English and all of those classes come into play?
Definitely, yes, it does. It does for college because I was in an IB school, so it was like an international related type of school. So it's like a college-based class. It taught me to think differently. Like, it taught me to write things deeply than I had to. Like regular paper, I didn't have no problem doing it because I did it in high school. So it's like they prepare you for the better, and that's what I love about my high school. Like, they just prepare you when you need to.
So staying locked in high school really prepared you for college. When you started earlier, you talked about plating it correctly and the right center cut. That's math.
Definitely it is.
That's
well, it ain't really math, but it comes to doing it. It takes practice. It takes patience. It takes years. You just have to commit to it. You just have to work hard every day. My night cut wasn't like this when I improve. So you look at something that you did years ago or a couple months ago to now, you feel like you see that growth. And you never really appreciate it because it's like you so busy on trying to like make it perfect, but you should have gave yourself credit for learning.
For learning it. And so what I hear is, so often, you know, especially at a young age, people want to look at the product as opposed to the process.
Right.
And it appears as though you really dove into the process.
Definitely,
You're
you have
looking to
to.
get better every day. You say you have to,
You
huh?
have to because that's how you grow. If you don't go through the process, how you gonna know what to do? If you fall on your feet, you gotta know how to get back up. You gotta know how to do what's right next time. You gotta know it's a place and time for everything. And I feel like all of that matters. Like some people don't feel like it don't matter. They want to see the success side so bad, but you got to go through the tough times to get to the.
What you say, the chicken wasn't always this.
No, it wasn't always like that.
Lord have mercy. Right. So I want to thank you so much. You know, when I think of success, I think of emotionally, socially, academically. You checked all three boxes so far, right? And just sitting here with you, I feel the confidence oozing out of you. Like, boy, there ain't no way I'm not gonna have my own kitchen, my own restaurant one day. Now you haven't said that, but everything about your energy and your conversation, right, says that. And that's what I want the audience to see. And so imparting, if there was a young lady that sits down and watches your interview, I want you to look and tell her, you know, that maybe have a disability, right? I want you to look really briefly and tell her why she can be successful.
You can be successful if you trust yourself, if you believe in yourself, if you scratch out what people saying about you, block out everything negative energy, just block them out. You'll do it. I promise you, you'll do it. You just gotta stay focused, stay on point, research, do anything, practice anything you need to do to get to the next level. That's how you grow.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another edition of The Interesting Part Is. I'm your host. My name is Kiss Allen. This is Powered by Steam Ambassadors. We are here with the incredible, locked in Nia Spencer. Incredible story. I know that we're going to be going to a restaurant one day, sitting, watching her plate food and display and fill our bellies with a lot of love and confidence and infused ingredients. We want to thank you so much. Always imparting, remember, believe in yourself, trust yourself, and stand in your faith, and you will get it done. This has been The Interesting Part Is, where we talk to the most interesting people about the most interesting thing. Thank you again, Nia.
Thank you. Bye.
We out.